Good evening, everyone.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir.
Good evening, sir.
Good
Good
evening,
evening,
sir.
sir.
You're all doing great. Good evening. Thank you. So happy Sunday to everyone. For as many of us that went to church, I believe the service was powerful, and most of us did not go, knowing fully well that our exam is around the corner. So we are using this period to read right now. Anyway, um, I believe God will do the best for you. All right. So having said that, I'm welcoming each and every one of you once again to class tonight. We did not hold class last week because of the unforeseen circumstance that actually happened. So I'm super sorry about that. And as a matter of fact, today we try and see to it that we cover up even the one we were meant to do last week. Okay. So having said that, the chapter we'll be focusing on, like I previously before now sent the note to the group. I want to believe you guys have seen it. I I know quite alright that the categories of people that may not have seen it are the people that have just been added to the group. Be it as may be, I believe I will be able to remember immediately after the class tonight to resend it so that you guys can download it and have it read. Okay, it's on budgeting and budgetary control. Budgeting and budgetary control. And if you've been taking the previous classes with levity hand, I'm begging you this moment not to take this class with any levity hand at all, at all. Do not joke with it, knowing fully well that it's a cumbersome topic that covers so many, aspects. Are you getting it? So really, we might not be able to conclude it tonight. How I wish we conclude it, because today might be the last day I will be having class with you. Knowing fully well that other lecturers will be waiting. I mean, for Psaf to take over. But nonetheless, if we are unable to finish today, I will just seek for permission to use next week and then conclude with you guys. But be it as may be, I believe we are going to start something today. So the theory part has been sent to group, like I earlier said. Please get it downloaded and read it. So that the practical aspect we are starting right now will not be looking like which kind Chinese language this guy is talking about now, which kind this thing is this one. Are you getting it? So please, the theoretical aspect is of foundation. Get it downloaded and read it so that you will have a comprehensive understanding. All right. So without further ado, just permit me to start sharing my screen. So much more what I will be using today is our text. I mean the icon pack, Psaf. So we'll be solving questions relating to each and every aspect of budgeting and budgetary control. We have so many areas. And if you've started solving past questions, so you will find out that they have so many questions relating to budgeting. So far, so good since the inception of PSAF, since they introduced PSAF as part of ICANN courses. So budgeting has been one of the major questions that they've been set that they've been giving out in the exam. So we have the aspect of personnel cost budget, we have the aspect of revenue budget, we have the aspect of overhead cost budget. Likewise, we do have the aspect of cash budget, which is the main. Are you getting it now? So if care is not taken, if one aspect is missed out, you might not really know the aspect in which I can we set their question. So what I plan doing is to just at least in a little way cover every aspect so that in case if they come in any angle, if they set their question from any angle, you should be able to tackle it, at least do your little with the little knowledge and information you have about that aspect. You are able to give it to them probably in your own little way. Then that will solve it. Are you getting it? And I find out even in November 2017. Anyway, that would be our our conclusive part for today. And I'm saying it ahead now that that will serve as your assignment. Um get it solved, and then hopefully if you are still meeting next week Sunday, yes, we will start from there. Is cumbersome in a way and is technical. If care is not taken, you might not know how to go about it. So that is the reason I'm telling you this. So we begin from the known today, even to the unknown, as we may have time. So permit me to just share my screen and see how far we can go tonight. Okay. No need of explaining what budgeting, types of budget, this and that is all about again. Please get the note, the theoretical part, and read it. Okay. The only thing I can just do is to have all the aspects analyzed. Then we call it a day. So let me see where is suitable for us to start from. I think PCB is okay for us to start with. PCB simply means personnel cost budget. Personnel cost budget. Personnel cost budget. That's the meaning of it. And it's simple anyway. It's simple. It's not difficult. Knowing fully well that Psaf has to do with government stuff or government costs per se. Are you getting it now? So they might want to take out question from PCB. Are you
Sorry,
getting
sir,
it?
what page?
You can see it now. Can't you see my screen? 260 of your previous pack, not the one they just recently released. So you can see it is 260 page 260. Are you with me? So everybody can see it,
Yes,
right? I
yes,
don't
sir.
want my class to be
Yes, sir.
disturbed. You know,
Yes, sir.
Okay,
distracted.
sir.
Thank you, thank you. So, like I was saying, when it comes to PCB, it has to do with government staff. So, if you are calculating for any government staff, be rest assured that is PCB formula or format that you are going to make use of. And in government sector, we have what we call government level. It begins from 01, which happens to be the minimum level, and the maximum level is government level 17. Government level 17. So get that one at the back of your mind, from government level 01 to government level 17. So what is the format? What is the formula? So one thing I believe that is easier for us to do is getting the formula or getting the format, then you will be good to go. Once you are able to identify the figures that belongs to the formula, you substitute the figures and then you will be good to go. Okay, so the PCB as one aspect of budget is the one making use of this formula or format, as the case may be, where we have incremental rate, bracket close, x minus 1 plus basic salary, x minus 1 plus basic salary. So let me put it here. These are the examples and the past questions that I already solved before now. So here is it. Incremental rate, wherever you see incremental rate, anyway, it's easier for you to identify it because it comes along with salary. Are you getting it? And one thing that ICANN will not tell you, or the examiner will not tell you, is to distinguish between incremental rate and salary. They will not. They will not. They will not. So it's left for you to know which one is salary and which one is incremental rate. And knowing the two, knowing one from the other is not difficult. Now, let me give you two points, two hints for you to know. Now, the very first figure that will be given to you is your salary. So this is the way they write it. Let's say 65,000 multiplied by 25,000. So of every question that I've been seeing so far is always like this. It's always like this, where they will write one figure and then multiplication will follow, and then another figure will be written. Hmm? So it's not left for you to know. And then, moreover, most of them used to put it this way and tag it salary. They will call the heading to be salary. So it's not left for you to know which one is incremental rate and which one is the main salary or basic salary, as the case may be. Now, the very first giving, the very first giving figure is always it's always refers to as salary, while the second one is always an incremental rate. Be it that it may be, you all know, or probably some of you that are working know that there is no way in which incremental rate can be bigger than the salary. So another way of getting to know is just know that the figure between the two, the bigger one will be for salary, while the other one will be as incremental rate. Most examiners call it allowance, but be it as it may be, the most popular name is incremental rate. And you know what incremental rate means? That means possibly if you have been promoted to another so like call it department now, or you have been promoted even in that same department, you are just going to, assuming as we have finance inter, we have cost controller, we have finance executive, and we have financial controller, we equally have CFO in the same finance as a profession. Are you getting it now? So assuming as you are going from one step to another in the same department, you know now they cannot just be promoting you like that without increasing your salary. That is how we got to know about incremental rate. Are you getting it now? So be it as it may be, the higher one between the two will serve as a salary, while the other one will serve as your incremental rate. Or still, the two can be of figure, the same figure. Like the second one I wrote here, 15,000 salary, also 15,000 incremental rate. Okay, it's so simple for you to dictate and to know. All right, in the formula that we have incremental rate. I've explained that we equally have x. X simply means steps, steps, steps. That's the meaning of x. And we have basic salary will be given. All these figures will be given to you. It just left for you to know how to substitute it into the salary. Knowing fully well that if you made a mistake by possibly taking basic salary as incremental rate, or incremental rate as basic salary, you might get it wrong. You might get it wrong. That's where most people actually get it wrong most at times. Moreover, the additional information is so cogent to be taking notice of. I'm telling you the reality, because that is what most students actually don't relate to it. And then they just be like, "Oh, it's not PCB, it's so simple. I know the formula, I know the format, I can just substitute the figure, and then once I will go." No, I will show you a question whereby you need to be conversant and then be taking notice of the additional information. Is so fighter. N simply is the number of staff number of staff in that category or in that department, as the case may be. So, having said this is the foundation of PCB. It's just meant for you to read the question very well. Then you substitute the figures in all the variables, and then you'll be good to go. Let's kickstart by solving a question. Then we move forward. Okay, this is just a singular question that has to do with uh one staff. They say Mr. Oluwola Yemen is on government level 10, step 5, and the structure of the salary is given as 60,000 multiplied by 20,000. Exactly, this is the same way it will be given to you. Compute Mr. Oluwola Yemen's current basic salary. Now, if you are not using format, you can equally use what I call additional method. You can be adding it up, knowing fully well that your base salary will still remain the same, but as you progress, as you are entering step by step, are you getting it? It will be changing. That means it's in step 4. It's in step 5 like this, right? And the formula actually tells us that it is always x minus 1, x minus 1. So which means if you are calculating it to be like this, 5 minus 1, which will be 4, which means its incremental rate will be added up to 4 times, right? You can just do the addition. 20,000 in step 1, 20,000 in step 2, 20,000 in step 3, 20,000 in step 4, making it 80,000. The basic salary is static. Just add the 80,000 together with 6,000 and you get 140. So simple. If you don't want to use the formula method or the format method. So permit me, let me just copy this and go to the Excel sheet so that we can get it solved. All right. So here is the question. Oluwola Yemen is on government level 10, step 5, and the structure of the salary is given as 60,000 to 20,000. Compute Mr. Oluwola Yemen's current base salary. So just identify all the variables. The incremental rate is how much? 20,000. I told you how to identify that, right? 20,000. Why the basic salary is the salary is 60,000. It's so simple. The step, which is represented as x, is 5. Which other variable again? The number of n. So it's only for one person, which is Mr. Oluwola Yemen, nobody else, just one. So since you're able to get this, just substitute the figures into the formula and you will have 20,000 as incremental rate, and then the x will be 5 minus 1. And what follows? Basic salary plus basic salary, which is 60,000 naira, and then bracket close. Bracket close, and then here you have 1. That's all. You press the calculator and I believe you are getting something like 140,000. It's as simple as myself. Now let's move on to the one that is more cumbersome than this. That's okay. Here is another example. We have position. We have like how many positions now? 4 positions. Yes. And number in post, government levels, salary. Position we have director of finance and accounts, possibly, and we have deputy director accounts and finance, AD accounts, and then we have, is it chief accountant or chartered accountant, anyone, and we have the number in post. This number in post actually represents n. That means if you are doing for each and every one of them, the n that you'll be using depending on the position you are calculating for. DFA, take for example, is just only one person that is there. DD, A and F, three persons. AD, account, four persons. CA, six persons. It's as simple as that. Now, look at the salary column. They have it written as salary, but then you have to identify which one is salary and which one is incremental rate. Thankfully enough, they have a note here, calling our attention to the fact that the first column is annual basis salary, while the second column is the incremental rate. They are, of course, they are generous enough to tell us that. Otherwise, they won't even specify it. They will not, call your attention to it. It's not meant for you to just have it identified and then do the needful. So let me have it copied so that we can solve it easily. And you agree with me that it's so simple. You on your mic, please off it. Ensure you mute yourself. You don't have time for noise. Okay. So knowing fully well that we have the formula that we need to use for this. So let's just go ahead and be doing it one after the other. DFA. So the formula is incremental rate, right? Which happens to be 20,000 into bracket X. So what is the step? Let's go back to the question and see. Each staff salary should be based on step 4. You see it here? So this is where we determine the step. Now, most of the times, every staff has a particular step in which is being allocated to them all. Or better still, the question might tell you that, okay, it's not a particular step that is assigned to every staff. Are you getting it? So they will just specify it for you. So it's not something difficult for you to identify. And here we are having 30% of staff salary. That one too is another question, and it's so simple. So what you need to do there is just to, after calculating all the totals for each position, are you getting it? DFA, DDA, DCA, you calculated everything already. Then just add everything together in each position. Then apply 30% to it. Any figure you get, that will be your staff allowance. Staff allowance. That's the way it's being calculated. Or better still, you can calculate it position by position. That means you calculate 30% for DFA, you calculate 30% for DD, you calculate 30% for AD, you calculate 30% for CA. Add everything together and then you will get the staff allowance. So irrespective of the method you use, you are getting the same figure. So let's forge ahead with this one. 20,000, it told us that the step is 4, right? So that means 4 minus 1, bracket close. And what again? We have plus basic salary. The salary here is 25,000. And then the number of N is, how many are they in the position? It's just one person. Yes. So if you use your calculator, you find out that, okay, 20,000 multiplied by 3, that's 60, right? 6,000. Then 6,000 plus 25, and we have 85. So the base salary for this guy in DFA is just 85,000 naira. So if you are calculating the staff allowance individually like that, so the only thing you just need to do if you are calculating individually is just to apply 30% on 85, and it will give you the answer. Lobaton. So that means the staff allowance for this guy is just 25. But most of the times, they will not require you to calculate it for them individually like that. So why not wait until you are able to finish with everybody? Then you apply 30%, even after adding it up. Are you getting it now? So the next person is DD. So the incremental rate is 20,000. Why the step is always 4. We are using the same step for every position. Okay. So plus what's the base salary? Also 20,000. So how many 3. So if you press your calculator, you will get the answer. So let's go to another one, AD. And this the last one we are doing. I want to believe everybody has gotten to understand it. So let's assume that this one is 90,000, 80,000. Okay. So for AD, we have the incremental rate to be 10,000, and then the step is always 4 minus 1. Then plus salary. Salary is 15,000. Okay. So how many are they? 4. So you calculate it, you press your calculator, then let's assume that you get 120,000. Okay. You equally do for the last one, chief accountant, and then what you are getting, let's say, is 560,000. We dey collect money now. Whether you are chartered accountant, chief accountant, we dey collect money now. So let's call it that way. So if you are doing for allowance of 30%, just add every this thing together. This one plus this one plus this one plus this one, which gives you 845,000. So what you need to do next is to apply 30% on it. Then you will be good to go. 845,000. Yes, so this is our staff allowance. So that means you are able to correlate yourself with the two requirements that is expected of you to answer. Okay, so that is that about that. Now, where we have it complicated is done what's it called? How should I put it now? Additional information whereby they can just tell you. Now, this is the grade level or government level that I was talking about. Yes, you can master it, and at the same time, it has the formula whereby they use in calculating it. We have grade in a column, we have step in so many columns. You see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 to 15. I mean to 17. So we equally have salary placement too. And trust me, easily you will be able to get it. So here again is another result. Okay, the following relevant information is also available showed above as step 1. It's the budget based on step 4. This staff will be on grade, step 4. You are high or you are low or you are based on step 4. Now, question are due for during the budget. It's a simple English. Simple English. One deputy director is due for promotion. Just come here. Where is deputy director? Of course, we have it in the second column. Deputy director of commerce. The additional information is telling us that one is due for promotion, which means one will be will be deducted from 2 and then promoted to he will be promoted to director of commerce, because that's the next job title, even immediately after deputy director of commerce. Now the question will not even tell you where they are being promoted to, but it's not meant for you to use your initiative and raise the job title higher, just a step higher. Are you getting it now? So, but if the question tells you otherwise, that possibly two double promotion is what the person is receiving, of course, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, if question is just cited like this, not telling you the position in which the person is being promoted to, just have it in mind that it will be raised just a step higher. Okay, which make this deputy director of commerce to remain one person now, of which one person that is being promoted is going to director of commerce. And in director of commerce, initially we have nobody there, right? So which means this director of commerce will now be one person because of this additional information. Now let's forge ahead. They say two assistant directors. Okay, we are promoting two assistant directors too. You go there, you look for where is the position. We have assistant director of commerce. How many persons are there before? We only have three, and they say out of these three, two will be promoted. To where we are not told, but just be fully aware that it will just be raised a step higher, of course, of which it will be this deputy director that the two persons will be coming to. Don't forget, this one only remain one person. That means two will be added to one to make it three. And this three has been reduced to one, right? Let's go ahead. What again? One chief accountant are due for promotion during the budget year. Okay, where is chief accountant? They are four here, abi? So you take one out of four, it will remain three. I mean, they will remain three. That means the one will be added to assistant director of commerce, which equally remain one. So one plus one, making it two. You seeing the logic now that I'm trying to use in explaining this additional information, and of which that's the way it is. Just read the additional information, understand it fully even before you begin to solve. Otherwise, you just get yourself into problem. Okay. So additional information 3 says during 2010, four senior commercial officers will be employed to strengthen the commercial division. Four will be hired again. So senior officers, right? Senior commercial officers. So where is senior commercial officers here? We have it to be here. Senior commercial officers. They were 8 before, but they employ another 4 now, which means 4 will be added to 8 to make it 12. So the total number of senior commercial officers will now be 12. Of course, that will serve as your hand when you are substituting the figure into the formula if you are calculating for senior commercial officer. So that's the way you'll be doing it one after the other. Now, the last one says staff allowances constitute 40% of staff salary. I've already explained this, which means after every you had all the figures together, department by department, then
Sorry, sir, your
you
screen is awful. Your screen, your screen is not
It's not.
being displayed.
It's your network.
It's
your
your
If
network.
network.
your
It's your
network,
network.
because we
The
can
screen
still
is
see it.
working.
Log out and log in again. It's your network, not mine. Log out and log in again. So like I was saying, you had every this thing together, every base current salary together, then you base it on 40% and you get your staff allowance. So it's as simple as myself. So let's go to another. That's PCB, but the another one that I have here is a little bit different from this. So let's see if I can just explain that within 2 minutes, and then we go to another aspect. Okay. So in the practical question, I guess that's where we have it. We should be do some. Yes, examination type questions. You see now. So just use the idea you've already had in the one I just explained to you now, and then you apply it here. It will still work. Obafemi Owode Local Government Council is about to prepare its year 2019 2009 budget. The following figures were made available in respect of. Okay. So all figures are assumed to be correct. You can see we have the column for office number in number, grade, level, and salary. All right. So the additional information is now saying the deputy city engineer is due for promotion. What are you going to do? Deputy city engineer is here, is the only person. So which means you are promoting it to city engineer. And as goodness we have it, there is no person in city engineer. Even if there is, just add to the person. Are you getting it now? So, and in this circumstance, in this scenario now, let me say if you are just starting work, don't just forget about incremental rate for that particular period. Let me say for your during your probation period, just forget about incremental rate. It's not applicable anywhere. Whereby anyway, if the company is financially buoyant enough and then generous, they can, of course, even without you, and depending on probably on how much effort you are putting, we are being diligent, and then or company may just increase your salary. Who knows? But under normal circumstance, whereby you just got employed, and then you are expecting that within your 6 months, make them increase your salary, e no go happen. E no go happen. So what I'm trying to say in essence is this, like this deputy city engineer that is being promoted now, the only thing he will receive is his salary, n- not the basis, not together with the incremental rate. It's being promoted. We see it even as we proceed. I'm just trying to explain ahead. Okay. One senior engineer and 12 artisans grade 1 are to be appointed. We might be in the same department, but we are not collecting the same salary. I believe you all know that. Yes. Take for example, this senior engineer, there are 5 in number. Hmm? For senior engineer, don't tell me that 5 of them are collecting the same salary. No, this salary scale will prove us right. Let's see. Senior engineer, yes, 2 out of 5 are under step 3, salary rent from the remaining 3, and the remaining 3 are under step 4, which makes which actually provide distinction or distinguishes between the two of them. Now, 2 out of 5 are in step 3, and the remaining 3, they are in step 4. Are you getting what I'm trying to say? It's also applicable to every other staff. Are you getting it? For engineer 2, how many are they? They are 8, but not okay. In the analysis they provided here, for step 1, we have 4. 4 of them, 2 of them to step 2. 3 of them, 2 of them that belongs to step 3. And if you add it all together, you discover that it is 8. Though they made mistake in one job title, I can't remember. But if you actually solve it, you will equally find that okay. Additional information 4, except those on promotion, each member of staff will move to the next incremental rate. You know what that means? That means if you come to the salary scale here, the person in step 1 will be moved to step 2 if you are calculating it. The person in step 2 will be moved to step 3. Like that, like that. That is the way, that is the meaning of the English they wrote for you in additional information 4. Take for
Sir, we can hear you.
Can't hear you.
20%.
Sir, we lost you for
Additional
a
information
moment.
5. Additional information 5 is saying staff allowance is 20% of
Sir, we didn't hear what you said last, so we lost your connection.
So can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, we
Yes,
can
we
hear you.
can.
Yes, sir, we can hear you now.
Okay, maybe I think it's network.
Yes, please, you start in additional information 4.
Except those on promotion, each member of staff will move to the next incremental rate. So I explained that. Let me go over it again. So take for example, the people in engineer 1, We have under step 1 to be 2, under step 2 to be 3, under step 3 to be 3. So which means if you are solving for this question, just promote the people under step 1 to step 2, and the 3 will be promoted to step 3. And the remaining 3 English is 20%, which simply means is 20%, which simply means uh after you might have calculated every job title, add it together, then base it on 20%, and you'll be good to go. So that is that about PCB. It's so simple and straightforward. Okay, so let's see if we can do some other aspect. So let's see a little bit of overhead. I pray I get that easily. Overhead cost budget. Yeah, here is the formula that you can use. You see, B B high equals overhead cost budget. So we have this formula to be like this. So BI simply means overhead cost budget. BO is hello, who is that? Everybody mute yourself, oh, mute yourself, oh. So we have B high to be budgeted activities, BO to be base year activities, I to be inflation. You know, this one is multiplied by high. High is inflation. YCO is the current year, and we have what's it called? Another high to be the current year inflation. Which means this BO, which is base year, will cater for base year inflation, and the current year too will still cater for current year inflation. It's as simple as myself. So don't just worry about how question will come in. What you need to be um um careful about is the formula. BO, that's base year activity, the activities that happen during the base year. And you know the base year is the previous years before that current year, right? So which means the base year for this year, which is 2025, is 2024, right? So if they give you, let's say the current year is 2011, the base year for 2011 is 2010. It's as simple as that. Like that. So you just need to identify which one is base year, which one is current year, which one is current inflation, which one is base inflation. That's all. Lower term. Are you with me? So an example therein is not difficult to solve. So what they give us? Let's see. The following is in respect of Ministry of Agriculture, where 20 tractors were maintained for 25 million in year 2010. The cost circular from Ministry of Agriculture made provision for additional 10 tractors to be procured to strengthen the operation of the ministry next year. So that is, they are actually hoping to do that, to get that done next year. So which means 2010 will serve as the base year. I believe they are talking about the current year. During that when this person is being constructed is 2010, which happens to be the current year as at that particular moment. But knowing fully well that they are making use, they are forecasting for next year, which will now be 2011. So in this question now, we can consider 2010 to be the base year, while 2011, of course, they didn't mention it here, but with the fact that after 2010, the next year, the following year will be uh 2011. So 2011 will now be the current year. Are you getting it now? So it's as simple as myself. Now the fourth year, they said the core circular from Ministry of Agriculture made provision for additional 10 tractors to be procured to strengthen the operation of the ministry next year. Information from National Bureau of Statistics show that inflation factor is 20%. 20%. Okay. So what is obtainable here is just to identify the figures and substitute this in the formula. That's all. So the amount they use in purchasing these 20 tractors is 25 million, right? And what is the base year activities? That's 20. The tractor happens to be 20. So the B high is what we are looking for. Of course, we don't know. Why the B ho, which is the current year, I say current year, the base year activity happens to be 25 tractors. Is it 25 or 20? 20. Why the inflation, they gave it to us to be 20%. And if you find out, if you solve the question, you find out that instead of them making use of 20%, they make use of 10%. I think that should be their own error. Okay, so let's just abide and use 20%. So the C whole, which is activities, they said is 10, right? But do we even know the amount? So in the question, is simple for us to know the amount anyway, because of the fact that if 20 tractors were bought at the rate of 25 million, will cost. Of course, that would be 25 million divided by 2, right? So that means just divide 25 million by 2, and you will get, I think that should be 12.5. Exactly, this is what they solved. This is what they solved. They solved it here. After identifying all the variables, they identified inflation to be 10% instead of 20%. That's their own palabra. Are you getting it? So don't be surprised. Don't be shocked. It's a mistake that they made by themselves. So hopefully, maybe they wanted to write 10 here instead of 20, or better still, here supposed to be 20, and then everything will go well. But nonetheless, any factors they give you, any percentage they give you, just know it, substitute it in the formula, and then you'll be good to go. And I want to believe that you know how to increase. If they say something needs to be increased, you know how to increase that. They may say increase the figure with 20%. Most of us, or many of us, what we used to do is, let's say if you're asked to increase 600,000 with 20%, many of us will just do the 20% of 600 is what? Let me calculate it. 20% multiplied by 600. Of course, we are getting 120, and then we will now be adding it up to 600 and say 600 plus 120, and we'll be getting 720. Yes, fine. Is a way of getting getting to solve questions, but then you can still limit your time. You can still save your time by abiding with the formula that we call discount formula. So just do 1 plus r, 1 plus r whenever you are to increase any figure. So knowing fully well that this one will call for you to do the increase, b whole multiplied by high. Inflation is high, and the inflation is 20%, right? So which means if you are doing that, just say 1 plus r. The r here is 20%. Just say 1 plus 20% is 0.2, right? 1 plus is 0.2, which will give you 1.2. Why not use this 1.2 to just multiply the figure you asked to increase straight and forward, and then you will be good to go. You easily get 720 instead of you having to know the percentage before and then you now add it to uh the figure that you're asked to increase with. Just say 1.2 multiply by 600, and it will give you 720. So it will save your time, and then you just go like that. So if you are to do this, what you need to do, b whole, which is 20, and then you multiply it by the inflation. Of course, you have it to be 20%, 20%, and what else? Plus, my Excel might not be able to give me, but let me just explain and move out of this one.
Sorry,
So the
sorry, sir.
CO,
Are we multiplying the BO20 or is the cost we are multiplying the 25 million?
is it the cost
Yeah,
is
yeah, is
okay, the
25
cost supposed to be
million.
25, right?
Yeah, 25 million. There are 20 tractors for 25 million.
Thank you. So this is 25, not 20. Okay. So just be careful of the figure you are inputting. That's where most of us do make mistake anyway. So just be careful. So the bracket, the CO is that not 12 point? Of course, you might
12.5.
have, yes, 12.5. 12.5. So multiply by what now? Multiply by inflation of 20%, right? So you press your calculator, and I guess you will equally get the same answer they got there. It won't be the same because of the inflation they use. Instead of 20, they make use of 10. But I bet it with you, if you follow the format, the formula, I mean, you will be good to go. So the revenue, let's go to the revenue budget. Revenue budget is just talking about the various sources of income for the government, the means of getting revenue for the government. So just calculate everything together, and then you'll be good to go. Ijumu local government has a population of 10 million citizens, of which 7 million are taxable adults who will pay tax at the rate of 500 naira per adult. So which means this statement now just tell us that one major source of revenue for the government is through tax or taxation, as the case may be. So, which means 7 million will be multiplied by 500 per adult, and we will generate how much revenue that is coming from tax. Are you getting it now? It's as simple as that one. That one is good. It also has 20,000 market stores rented to traders at 80,000 per annum per store. So what you need to do is just multiply 20 by 80,000, and you are good. There are 12,000 workers who will pay extra fees, entrance fees to the market on daily basis at the rate of 100 per day. There are 28 days in a month and 12 months in a year. So here is telling you that the figures are being given to you based on the number of days, but then we are to calculate for years. Better to do here is just multiply 12 by 100 naira per day, and then you multiply it by 28, and that's all. So you sum everything together. So if you eventually read the question thoroughly, you find out that we have in this same question, in this singular question, we have three sources of revenue for the government through tax, which I just analyzed now. 7 million multiplied by 500. Revenue budget. So the first source is through tax, and if you are calculating it, just say 7 multiplied by 7 million, not even 7 self. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. 7 million multiplied by 500,000 for each individual. Of course, you are getting this value. So the other source is through rent. So what did they say concerning rent? Let's check. Who will pay tax? Okay. It also has 20,000 market stores rented to traders at 80,000 per annum per store. So that means 20,000 multiplied by 80,000. So simple. 20,000 multiplied by 80,000. Then you, okay, let's say Okay, 20,000 multiplied by 80,000, and then you get the figure to be 1 point whatever. So the third one, what do they say? There are 12,000 workers who will pay entrance fees to the market on daily basis at the rate of 100 naira by 100, and then there are 28 days in a month, and then by 28 too, and you will be good. So what should we call this one? Yeah. So how many are they? 12,000 multiplied by 100, then multiplied by 28 days, and you get the answer. Okay, so what is left for you to do is just to do the addition, and then that's all for revenue, just the total that they need. So that is that about that. So which other one again do we still have? So you cannot do cash budget today. Probably will do it next week, but let me just, okay, I think we can still do it. In Nigeria, state government has a problem of not being able to, we are less concerned. The requirement is prepare the cash budget of the state for June to November 2009. Before I proceed, let me just tell you this, that cash budget is basically prepared for half a year. Any budget that is prepared beyond 6 months in a year is not cash budget. You can prepare cash budget for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months. Going to 7 months is not cash budget anymore. Are you getting it? So the max that you can prepare cash budget is just for 6 months. And what are we doing in cash budget? It's just for you to compare the inflows with the outflows, low bottom. So the complexity of this cash budget is when you are having receivables and at the same time you're having payables. And of course, you know, we have discount receive and discount giving as far as payable and receivable is concerned. So that is where you will be having a bit of some challenges that you'll be facing. But here in this very first question on cash budget is not difficult at all. What you just need to do is to compare the inflows together with the outflows. So you agree with me that as we have a column for the month, we have column for statutory allocation, for internally generated revenue, salaries, and others. So they are being segmented into how should I call it now? Inflows and outflows. So we have 2 columns for inflows. So also we have 2 columns for outflows. Statutory allocation, you know that one is coming from federal government. Yes, we have it to be an inflow. We equally have internally generated revenue. That means they are working, you know, by themselves and they are getting some money, even as a local government. Yes, you add the two together, you sum it up. The salaries and others, you add it together, you sum it up. Your cash flow, your cash outflow, I mean, and your cash inflows. Now, another issue here is, you know, the closing balance of a previous month will serve as the opening balance of the following month, right? I believe you know that before now. That is why you need to start, possibly depending on the format you are using. If you are starting with balance brought down, better see you just calculate your receipt side, which is cash inflows, and then you calculate your payment side, which is cash outflows. Then you add it up together, both the inflows and the outflows. Then you minus. So let's see if we can quickly do that now. I already did it. So let me just use that to explain, and I guess you should be able to understand easily. Yes, this is the same question that I copy here, and this is the same answer that I got. You have the column for the month, each month from June down to November. If you calculate, it's just 6 months. And the opening, I didn't put it there. I supposed to have even cancel it because I saw it using the first format, and then I still solve it using the second format. So it's still it's just the second format that is having that we are seeing right now anyway. So the statutory allocation 50,000, I didn't manufacture any figure, is directly from the question they gave to us. Statutory allocations for June 50,000, 70,000, August, everything. All figures are assumed to be correct. So I didn't work on any. So the only place I worked is the total. Of course, you just add it up together and you get the total. Now the cash flow, the cash outflows, you do likewise. Salary orders, you add it all together. When you are comparing and contrasting everything together, cash outflows from cash inflows, that is the column where we have net balance A minus B. That means you are deducting this one from this one. You are getting 54,400. Are you with me? So it's applicable to every other month. These are their net balances. Are you getting it now? So if you are doing balance brought forward, for the month of June, let's say you've closed for the month of June. This is what you close with. Of course, normally, it will serve as the opening of the following month. That is why you see the figure here. Are you getting it now? So the figure for the month of July, you add it together with the opening for the same month of July, and then you have the figure to be 130,880 for the month of July. You are already done with the month of July. That means you are making progress to the month of August. And if you are starting the month of August, it is the closing balance for the month of July that will serve as the opening balance for the month of August. That's why you have the figure here. So you add it up together with the balance here, and then you have this 198. So you can use any method, be it you having the opening balance first and foremost, and then it will warrant you. You will only get to know for the month of June first and foremost before you can know for the remaining month. Let's just say even before you can get to know for the next month, which is the month of July, and you know the closing stock, the closing balance for the month of July first and foremost before you can get to know the opening balance for the month of August. That is the way it's being done. Whichever method you choose to use, it's okay, and just ensure that you get the figures correctly and will be marked right. Okay, so these ones are not difficult in a way. So the only place, so that I'm giving it to you as your assignment now, is that page 151 of your past question. I think that should be November 2017, question 3. Please get it solved. And let's see if we can start from there next week by God's grace. That's the only class I still know that I'm owing you guys for now. So I want to actually call it a day from here. I believe if not much, you enjoyed the class in a little way tonight. So is there any question so far? 2 minutes. Any question?
Good evening, sir.
Yes, sir. Welcome, sir.
Good evening, sir.
Yes, welcome.
Well done, sir. Thank you very much for the lecture being learned, sir. Please, sir, assuming in a situation, if we are giving opening cash, it means the opening cash will be added to the one of June before we proceed to July, sir.
Trust me, I didn't hear you clearly. Assuming what?
Okay. Assuming we are giving an opening balance of cash in the month of June, it means if we are going to add it with the surplus of June before we carry it forward to July, sir.
Yes, you are going to use it now. If you are being given opening balance for the first month, which is the month of June, yes, you are starting with it. It's as simple as that. In your inflows. As a matter of fact, that is the question I'm telling you. That is it. It asks that that question you just asked me now. Let me see if I can find the question and open it. 20. Oh, I supposed to 151. 2017 151. Here is the question. Yes, you all can see it, right? We have the cash here. They said the balances at the beginning of June as follows. Cash 16,000. That means if you are computing for your inflows, first and foremost, you need to recognize this cash. Are you getting it now? You recognize it. I believe I'm able to answer your question. So thank you very much, everybody. We meet again by God's grace next week, Sunday. So goodbye, everyone.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much,
sir.
sir.
Thank you, sir. Thank
Thank
you
you,
very much.
sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Appreciate you, sir.
Thank you, sir. We appreciate.
Thank you, sir. So will you drop the calculation? I mean, you don't come out.